Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Change Bible Study. My name is Chris Bailey. We're excited that you're here because we're going to look at another mini-series on contrasting not ashamed versus shameless. What does it mean to not be ashamed? We're first introduced to this concept and to this gift in the book of Genesis. Not only in the book of Genesis, but we actually see this in the Garden of Eden. Now we're there and we're in chapter 2, and Adam and Eve's situation is described, and their relationship, their marriage is exalted and revealed as a circumstance of not being ashamed. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 25 says, "And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed." This is Genesis chapter 2. And so just so that you can know that this situation was God's ideal, and it was not just his ideal, it was all good. Look at what was said in Genesis chapter 1. In chapter 1, verse 31, about chapter 2, it says, "God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day." Genesis chapter 1 covers those first 6 days of creation, but it's here in chapter 2 that we zoom into the lens and we see Adam and Eve both naked, not just as a man and a woman, but at this point they are there as husband and wife, and they were not ashamed. This literal nakedness, because they would cover in this light the glory of God. It tells us a lot about what God intends for the marriage relationship. He intends for us to be open. He intends for us to have nothing to hide. He intends for us to be in an existence that is good, and good because there's nothing, there's no shadow, there's no darkness, there is no sin. This was God's ideal. This was his plan. And because of it, they were able to dwell together, and they were able to find this joy that God even wants us to have. Whether or not we're literally married to another man who's our husband or to another woman who is our wife, man and woman only, understanding that even if we have this situation, this is what God wants for you. But guess what? Even if you're single, God wants to be this close to us. He wants there to be no veil in between us, no darkness, no shame. But the only way for to live not ashamed is to be free from sin. So knowing that this is God's intent for us, whether we're in husband and wife before God, or whether we're in child of God with God, he wants to be close to us. He wants there to be nothing to have to be hidden, nothing to have to hide from. But now, as we turn the page, let's see what happens when we start to make this transition to living not ashamed to living shameless, and why we don't want to go there.